some basic instructions for changing the controller on a Digital Knight DK20S or any other press with the same controller. Loosen these two screws on the clamshell presses. It's 4 screws in the back of the panel, and you can lift this out. This you might have to pry from behind the two clamps. You might have to pop that and pry that up with a screwdriver. You can lift this out to the side and just tilt it sideways. So you rest it right inside there. That's fine. Make sure the power cord is unplugged. Unplug your power cord before you do any of this. And basically you have these 2 power wires that come from the on-off switch. We unplug those. We unplug your heater wires. You can leave this alone. This is just an auxiliary beeper. And then unplug that. Unplug that. I'll place this here. Power wires, heater wires. So I just unplugged 2 heater wires and 2 power wires. Unplugging the temperature wire, the timer wire, they just pop right up and off. And now we have a completely separate panel alone. Now, in order to switch out the boards, all you're going to do, I have a little special tool to do these, but you can just use needle nose pliers on these, just little needle nose pliers or anything like that to loosen them up. They should loosen right up, and that's it. You're going to remove 4 of these hex nuts from those corners. And make sure you keep all 8 of the spacers. You see how there's bigger spacers in between the boards and smaller spacers between the board and the sheet metal. Keep all 8 of those spacers. Don't lose any. We want to make sure the boards are nicely spaced in between each other. Put that back on. Now, you've taken off the old boards, you put the new boards on, you make sure all the spacers are on there. By the way, if the spacers are sliding back off when you're putting everything together, you can give them a squeeze. You can squeeze the spacers so that they fit a little bit tighter onto these 4 studs. But then I'm just going to pretend we've just put those back together. You tighten the hex nuts just snug. You don't have to over tighten, so that the boards are nice and firmly placed. And that's it. So you have small spacers, big spacers, and hex nuts between all 4 corners of the circuit board. Make sure of that. This is your keypad connector, by the way. See how that pulls loose? You want to make sure this keypad connector, which comes from the keypad, so you stick this onto the outside, you pass the connector through. Make sure that plugs into all 5 pins on the bottom of the circuit board, and you're okay. One other hint. Make sure that the circuit board, if you can see that between the circuit boards, they're mating. Make sure the female is mating to the male connector there. And when you look at it, this green connector should line up with the yellow transformer. So yellow transformer on that side, green connector on that side, and everything is right side face up. Keypad on the bottom, keypad on the bottom, and then you're all ready to plug things back in. I'll walk through the connections. They're very, very simple. I'll position this hopefully so you can see it well. Just check there. So the green temperature connector plugs into, let's see if I can do this so you can see it well enough. The green temperature connector plugs into the green receptacle up top. It's a little tight up there. See that? Green temperature connector. The timer and pressure sensor, there are 6 holes and 6 gold pins. You want to make sure all 6 holes plug into all 6 pins on the connector. It's very easy to plug into just 3, so you want to look at it from the side view and look at it from here as well as there to make sure. These 2 heater wires, doesn't matter which one is which, they just plug, let me get this out of the way, These two heater wires plug into the two press tabs on the circuit board. So both the fabric wires, make sure they snap in very, very tight. Those plug into the middle tabs that are labeled press on the circuit board. Let's see that. Black wire goes into hot. White wire goes into neut, and I'll show this from another angle here. So black wire from your on-off switch goes to hot. It's labeled hot right there. Your two fabric heater wires go to the press tabs, and your white wire from the on-off switch goes to neut. Green plug to the receptacle. Make sure this plugs into all 6 gold pins. And that's it. Those are all your connections on the air-operated or automatic or pop-up presses. There might be 2 more plugs, or there will be 2 more plugs into these tabs. Otherwise, leave these tabs empty. And again, make sure your keypad is plugging into all 5 pins. And we're ready to go. This is actually a ground wire coming straight from the heater, straight into the ground connector. You can ignore that. And then if you're replacing the power kit as well, I'll just go over those connections quickly. Your power cord has 3 wires, white, black, and green. The white and black from your power cord, if you can see this, white and black from the power cord go over to the white and black on the on-off switch. Then the white and black from the on-off switch, see how white stays on the same side as white, black stays on the same side as black. Then your black and white wires go up. So we have power coming from the cord over to the switch, and from the switch up to the circuit board. And that's it. Those should be your connections. And then all you need to do is very gently tuck this under there. Make sure this snaps in. You might have to push it down. And then you can tighten your screws up, and you're right back up and running brand new.